Hello, friends from everywhere. We are live. We are live on Facebook, we are live on Instagram, we are live on TikTok, and this is wild. We're going to try this. I really wish there was a way to do like all in one, but there's not, so I'm going to try. Today we are making slow cooker peach chicken. So if you're catching the replay, slide it forward about 10, 15, 20 seconds when we're going to get started with the actual cooking. I just want to make sure that everything is looking good in all of these places. Good morning, my friends. The Dinner Made Easy show has been around actually a really long time. And we took a little hiatus this last bit, I guess, and we're back this fall, and I'm going to be trying to do 2 or 3 live streams a month, helping you learn how to cook, giving you ideas for in the kitchen. I was just cleaning up the chicken. Getting ideas for you in the kitchen and helping make dinner easier for you. And I'm all about efficiency. I'm all about helping you save money on groceries. I'm all about helping you be inspired and get ideas for things that you can do in your kitchen and just making dinner easier. I have a mom of 4 boys, one headed off to college really soon. I know the pains of feeding your family on the daily, on a budget, especially with the food prices on the rise as they have been. So I'm going to share this yummy idea with you today. It's slow cooker peach chicken. I like to call this a little bit of a budget gourmet. Ways to save money on this: you're going to want to get the generic brand of the peach preserves, chicken when it's on sale, basil. If you can grow it yourself, that's definitely the best way to go. Long-term savings wise, you can save yourself a lot by growing your own herbs that you use often, like basil, maybe oregano if you cook a lot of Italian. So just be mindful of how that, it might cost a little bit up front to buy the plant. This was all that my store had. I could have bought a whole entire plant that would have grown for me all summer into the fall here anyways. You can bring those inside by a window and grow them inside as well. So just some ideas for how that you can save a little bit of money with this particular meal. It's also using balsamic vinegar. Get the cheapest generic. Sometimes the larger containers of balsamic will give you a better price per ounce. And so just be mindful of all these things. I'm all about helping you save as much as you possibly can. So we're going to get started. So the chicken, I'm actually going to show you 2 things today while we are here. So let me switch modes here. I'm going to move cameras. Hang on. Bear with me. Okay, so what I have here and what I'm going to show you and break down for you is how to do this. We're going to cook this for dinner tonight, and then I'm going to make a second to go into the freezer. Now, here's the recipe. I'm going to call it out. Unfortunately, I can't do a text overlay on the screen, but the recipe is linked in the comments, or if you send me a note or a message on TikTok or Instagram, I will message it to you. It's 2 or 3 chicken breasts, depending on how many you need, a 1/4 cup of balsamic vinegar, a 1/2 cup of peach preserves, 1 small red onion chopped up. I'm actually going to use this kind of medium-sized red onion for both of these meals, and a teaspoon of garlic powder, and then the basil. I'm going to show you how to chiffonade that so that you can get it into the sauce or use it as a garnish. So we're going to go right in with that. So I already have 2 chicken breasts in here and 2 chicken breasts in our freezer meal. So now what I'm going to do is chop up this red onion, and I'm going to get it into pretty small pieces. I want the flavor from the red onion, and I also want it to melt into the peach preserve sauce that we're going to make. Okay. With this, I'm just going to use my chef's knife to cut it, probably like a fine chop. Pretty small little pieces. Again, I want it to kind of melt. Let me make sure you guys can see this okay. We need to come a little forward. Hang on. All right. So I just cut down into like half moons, and then I cut across again. I feel like, you could go Julia Child style and like just go crazy chopping, but I like to take my time, especially with the smaller pieces. Just keep your knuckles bent. We're going to turn it and go the other direction, and you can see what a tiny, fine little chop we're getting here. That's going to be perfect. I would say, probably for the sake of ease, since I'm doing kind of a make one, freeze one here, I'm going to keep this half of the onion over here, and then I'm going to cut the other one over here. That way I have this for one meal and this for the other. This is a medium size. A smaller one would work. If you wanted to, if you don't mind red onion, you could leave it in these half moon sizes if you wanted to. I just like for it to be finely chopped so it kind of melts into that sauce as it slow cooks the day away. All right, I'm gonna try not to cry here. This one Okay, how do you not cry when cutting an onion? I know, but I want to know if you know. How do you not cry when you're cutting an onion? What are some things you can do? Of course, you can put goggles on. Wear your glasses is one. You can actually cut an onion like this under running water. That'll keep. So what makes you cry when you're cutting an onion is the juices from the onion like spray up as you slice, and so any way you can like give a protectant to your eyes will help from crying. There you go. Okay, so the onion is chopped. I'm gonna grab a bowl and my spinella. And I'm going to show you these. I have 4. They're in the shop. They're tagged in the description of the video on Facebook. They're tagged in the video on TikTok, and I'm not sure how they're on Instagram. We'll get them to you somehow on Instagram. So these are the regular size. This is the skinny. The skinny is great for digging into jars, even like a small little curry. I use this to dig out the curry paste from those skinny little jars. Love these guys. Literally use them all the time. Great for scraping bowls, batters, even mixing up batters. So because I'm doing a make one, freeze one, I'm just going to go ahead and use the entire thing of jelly, because each recipe calls, each meal's worth calls for a half a cup. So I'm just going to go ahead and use, actually I might just use most of it, maybe not all of it. Okay. That's about a cup. There is a little bit left over, so I'll save that for some toast later. And then I'm going to measure in, whew, I thought I had all this ready. There we go. Sorry. I'm going to measure in a half a cup of balsamic vinegar. So each meal's worth. So what I'm slow cooking for tonight, what I'm putting in the freezer, needs a quarter cup. So I'm going to go ahead and measure in a half a cup, and then I'm going to mix this up with my spinella. So the spinella is like a combination. I actually had ordered some a long time ago. We gave them to our members as gifts when they join. We always give our members gifts when they join. And I had something similar, and I had been looking for something like it because we gave all our gifts away. And this is the best that I could find here. Did I do 2? I did a cup. I did a cup, didn't I? Didn't I? Y'all. This is way saucier than it should be. Okay, I guess we're gonna have an extra peachy. I'm gonna just go ahead and fill this out and use I did that while I was talking, didn't I? Laugh at me if I did that, y'all. I'm pretty sure I did. I measured 2, didn't I? Ryan's right here, didn't I do 2? He's like, I'm not paying attention. I'm trying to keep the video in the right place. I'm pretty sure I just did a cup, so I'm gonna go ahead and like try and thicken this up with the remaining peach preserves. Yay for live stream videos. I might even have to like strain a little. Let me strain it off before I mix it in. It's not supposed to be that balsamic-y. I absolutely added too much. We're gonna do a quick strain. Okay, that's gonna be fine. I strained off a little bit. So this is a really, really dark sauce, so it doesn't make the prettiest chicken, if you will, in terms, like I love pretty food, but the basil will add a nice pop of green. All right, now we need to do, that's better. I drained off a little bit of that. Seriously, I know I added a cup. I'm gonna have to go back and watch the live stream on this one. All right, last but not least, I'm gonna do 2 teaspoons of garlic. I do my palm measure a lot, especially with cooking, not so much with baking. Baking is a little more precise. You should measure with baking. I just want a little pop of garlic in there. Minced garlic would work as well, just the same. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna do the onion into each, and then I'm gonna pour, actually we're gonna do the basil. Where'd my knife go? I have to use my knife as a scooper. All right, so then this one we're gonna freeze, and I'm gonna give you the details for cooking and cooking after it's been frozen as well. Just give me a sec to get there. I wanna get this prepped first. I love this sort of like make one, freeze one for later. That's one of the ways that a lot of our My Freeze Easy members use our app, is using this where they make one for tonight and then save one for the freezer later, because we double everything, and so you get twice the ingredients that you need for both of your meals. Okay, chiffonading basil. Chiffonade. Come on. I usually get the smaller packs. This is what the store had when I went. This is going to be more of a licorice-y kind of a Thai basil, I think, but that's fine. So the basil's just adding a beautiful depth of flavor, also a little pop of color if you use it as a garnish. I'm just going to pick off some of the bigger leaves and show you how to do a chiffonade. So a chiffonade is like a ribbon, okay? And it's just kind of a way that you cut. I was kind of hoping these leaves would be a little bit larger, but they are what they are, so we will work with them. Hello, sorry, I'm right here in this one camera. Okay, so I'm going to do this. I'm going to take the larger leaves, and I'm going to, we can use that guy, stack them up with all the stems facing in the same direction. So the stems are up here. It's kind of hard to see, let me see. And then we're going to roll them like a cigar. The smaller ones can go kind of into the middle. Oh, this guy's kind of big, let's put him down here. The smaller little leaves can go into the middle, and we're gonna roll it up super tight like a cigar. Let me just make sure that you guys can see this okay. We good? All right, so super tight like a cigar. And then what I do is I hold with my left hand the stem side, and I'm gonna cut from the leaf tip side into little skinny strips. If you hold the point of your knife on the cutting board and then kind of rock and slide down, make sure that your knuckles are bent and aligned with the side of the blade so you don't accidentally cut yourself. And take your time and watch really closely. Hey Kara, good morning. Is coffee really your last name, or do you just love coffee that you made it your last name? That's my question for you, Kara. Okay, let me pay back attention to what I was just saying and doing. All right, I don't need the stems. So this is the little chiffonade. It's all these cute little ribbons. I think you can see this okay. And then you can either use these as a garnish. I'm gonna add them in with the peach and balsamic because I want that amazing flavor from the basil to just release into the sauce as it slow cooks the day away right here. Okay. Can you guys hear that? Let me see if he'll do it. I don't know if you can hear that or not. You might be too far away. We have a little cardinal that comes to visit every day, and he just taps on our window like he thinks he wants to live here or something. Okay, so I've mixed in that basil. There's a few little stray pieces here. I don't need those stems. So because I've doubled this, I'm gonna take about half of this and then pour it in directly over the chicken and the red onion. And then the other half, I'm going to, it's my amazing smell. I love the way this guy scrapes metal and melamine. Perfect. Like it just, this is my favorite combination, this melamine bowl and this scraper, this spinella. Okay, and this is gonna go directly into, this is a freezer bag. And again, I'm gonna outline how to cook all of this in just a second. If you missed it at the top of the video, if you're just joining us, I did go over some money saving tips at the beginning. You can go check that out later once the replays are available and live. Okay, so we have that here. Let's see, I'm actually going to, I want this, let me see if I can get this a little closer for you to see. I want this to really be over the top of the chicken, so I'm just gonna do a quick spread and kind of reposition. There's not a lot of liquid in here, and the sugar in the preserves can, what I would say would be like caramelized to burn, okay? So sugar can burn if it's in the slow cooker for too long, or if there's not enough liquid. The chicken will release quite a bit of broth. Wait a minute. Okay, sorry. The chicken will release broth into this, so I'm not worried about this, and my slow cooker does not tend to run hot. If you have a slow cooker that has overcooked things in the past, your food comes out kind of dried, go ahead and add like a 1/4 cup of water or chicken stock just because there's sugar in the preserves, okay? So I don't want this to burn. It will be very dark when it finishes slow cooking, but I don't want it to burn. So just know that if it is burning, it's because of the sugar, and you need to have a little bit more liquid in your slow cooker next time you cook anything with sugar, especially a jelly-based sauce or a barbecue sauce, okay? So from here, we are going to slow cook this on high for 4 hours low for 6 or 8 hours, depending on your schedule. If your schedule says that, you know, you're away from the house for 8 hours at work, set it on low for 8 hours before you leave the house. That is perfect. This here now we have as a freezer meal. Hang tight. Sorry, get my hands clean. So this is now a freezer meal. So this we can slow cook high for 4 hours, low for 6 or 8 hours, depending on your schedule. Here, we're gonna take this, and I like to flat freeze like this, get as much air out as you can, and this way it takes up a little tiny bit of space. In my freezer, I have like little files of meals. It's really cute. Keep it nice and organized so I know what's in there. And then I'm gonna freeze this just like this. So this is what I would call a meal starter. I can start this from frozen into the slow cooker. The only rule is, you know, this, if this is frozen, it'll fit easily into the slow cooker. You know, it's small enough to fit frozen in there. So this is what I do. Once this is frozen, I'll put it into a bowl of just sort of room temperature water for about 5 minutes, enough to loosen the frozen ingredients from the bag. Whether you're using a bag like this or silicone bag, whichever one you prefer is totally fine. You just want it to thaw for a few minutes, enough to separate the frozen ball of delicious, is what I call this. And then you transfer it frozen into your slow cooker. The only rule, this is a food safety rule, is if you're cooking chicken from frozen like this, you need to cook it on low for 8 hours. So it has plenty of time to thaw and cook in the cooking cycle when cooking from frozen. But again, if you're cooking it from fresh like we're doing it here, 4 hours on high, 6 hours on low is also great. So just know that that is how the kind of the mechanics of cooking from fresh versus cooking from frozen. So that is what I wanted to share with you today. We learned how to save money on this meal. We learned how to chiffonade a basil for our sauce. We learned how to cut a red onion. We also learned how to make this budget gourmet as a slow cooker meal and as a freezer meal. So that is what I wanted to share with you today, my friends. I hope this worked. I will go and check this out, make sure that it worked. If you didn't love, like I can't really look at all 3 places at once, but I'm trying here. If you didn't love this, I just don't want to have to make this 3 different times. So we'll see how this goes. I'll check it out. Look for the link for the recipe in the comments. Shoot me a message if you're curious or need it, and I will get it over to you. All right, my friends, have a beautiful rest of your day, and we will see you soon.